What does it mean to kind of have a fresh start for you?
It's the one, I've been waiting for this a little bit, so I've been waiting for a couple of weeks or a few weeks now, ever since I really knew where the situation was at in Miami, and that was pretty early on. They laid a pretty clear picture out for me, and I appreciated that, so we could try and come up with a solution. And it took a lot longer than I thought, but ultimately, I'm happy to be here, happy to finally, hopefully get back on the field and be a part of a club that, has a lot to grow, but also, is kind of, I feel like, right there to compete for some really interesting things.
Why did Miami make the move on you? Why do you think they decided to part ways?
I think that's more a question for them. Coaches make decisions for different reasons, and Mascherano came in. He said that he probably did his homework watching games last year, where obviously played a lot, so he had a lot of footage to watch. But yeah, he basically told me that he doesn't think I'm going to fit his system, and that's kind of his decision that he made. And like I said, I'm grown up enough to respect that and be okay with that, and ultimately try to just find the best solution to that situation, which now turned out to be here.
I mean, does that motivate you? Are you one that has the chip on your shoulder?
Yeah, of course. But I've been in this league long enough. I've played a lot of games here where I've had that chip, I think, throughout my whole career, and that motivates me. Obviously we play Miami in a few weeks as well, so that'll be a special game. But I'm grateful to that organization for that year that I've been there. And now it's just, turn the page, new chapter, trying to leave all that behind, trying to take the lessons that I learned with me, incorporate them here, try and be, a leader to push this club forward and hopefully win some things.
What attracted you to the opportunity here?
I think just, the club had, I think, made a whole presentation about kind of what this club is about, the culture and the kind of the foundation that's been set over the last few years, that it's not a project that is just built on, a few months or a year. This is a project that has been going on for a while, and club leadership has, shown me what the culture is like, and how the fan base is great here, and all those things. So I'm just excited to come into, I think, a club that is kind of right on the cusp of being able to be really successful on the field, and with having the base kind of laid out really nicely, where now you can add on top and you can really try and push for some things and some really good success on the field.
What do you feel like you can add to the team right now?
I think I obviously, haven't played this season, so I just want to be on the field, and I think I've shown throughout my career that I have different qualities in the system that we play that I think will play a pretty nice role, if that's service out wide or kind of as a right wing back. That's kind of fitting in nicely, I think. But also at times I spoke with Eric about playing in midfield and trying to keep things not so predictable, where we can change things up and we can have different types of formations, we can have different types of playing styles and be a little bit more unpredictable, I think. And I can try and add to that, where I can play in multiple positions. Obviously quality in the final third and trying to create chances, trying to create goals. But at the same time, trying to play within the team and really try and push guys, get the best out of guys possible.
How's your fitness levels right now?
I want to say it's good. I've done a lot of work. I've done a lot of individual work on my own. I know I wasn't part of the plan there in Miami. I know I wasn't going to play a ton of minutes. I obviously trained fully with the team, with the guys that didn't play. So I've been training normal up to, I think, last Friday there. So I want to say it's pretty good. I feel good. My lungs are a little bit burning today for the cold weather, but I think that's quite normal. So that's something to get used to. But at the same time, we play in Austin this weekend, so it's going to be a little bit warmer there. So we'll see how that goes. But no, I feel like I'm pretty good. Obviously game fitness and game sharpness, I think, is a little bit something different that we'll hopefully get to quickly. But it's not like I need a month or so. I think I'm pretty ready to go.
Are there any teammates that you have existing connections with that you know about the league or bond with?
Yeah, Will Trapp is probably the one guy. I've played obviously against a lot of Minnesota other teammates here now, and yeah, Will's probably the guy. Even last week, I connected with him for like half an hour, 45 minutes on the phone, and we kind of talked about the club, the city and the people, where to live, kind of what to look out for, all those types of things. And I think I actually know probably Zarek the best out of everybody that I've played against the most, just from being in and around the league. So it's, it seems like it's a really easy locker room to come into. Really good guys, really good culture, and I'm excited to be here.
And your family's going to be joining you at some point?
Yeah, so I've been tasked with the job of finding a house in the school. So no easy task there, but I'll do that now, and then they'll come probably in June, early June when the school year is done.
And it's something you've done before as well, right? To kind of relocate.
Yeah, I have one too many times, I think. So we're used to it. It doesn't get much easier with the kids, obviously, as they grow up and get older, but we kind of know what to look for. That's the good thing. We know what we like. We know what we need in terms of schools and doctors and all that type of stuff. And to be honest with you, the club has done an amazing job of helping us so far. Probably the best I've been at so far. So it's been really, really good from that point. And that's also why I'm so excited to be here, and because the club has done an incredible job from the start to really help us and really show us what Minnesota is about, show us what the club is about, the fans, what the facilities are, but also player care team and all those types of things around everything off the field has been really good. So excited for my family to come and kind of see for themselves when the weather gets even better.
Your first MLS assist was in Minnesota's first ever MLS home game. What do you remember about that day?
Oh, I remember a lot. Yeah, I remember a lot. It was, I think I said it flying yesterday a couple of times. I think the two coldest games I've ever played were here in Minnesota. It was that game, and then there was I think a game the year after where there was no snow, but it was just a wind chill. It was so cold. But yeah, that first game was a fun game for us. Not so fun, I'm guessing, for Minnesota United, but yeah, that's way in the past. I wish I could turn back the time and go back to that time, but at the same time, this is kind of weird or kind of crazy how kind of comes a little bit. You come around the league so much, and now I'm part of this organization where it started back then for Atlanta United and Minnesota United, and now I've played for both those teams. So it's also my first professional career. So. My first professional year, so it's when that started. So it's certainly, kind of cool to think about.
What's kind of the commonality is, you won an MLS Cup in Atlanta and obviously in Columbus, and a Supporters Shield last year, U.S. Open Cup. What's kind of the through line of winning for you? What are the kind of things that you try to bring and key ingredients to do so?
Honestly, every team is so different. Every team is so different in a sense that culture is different, club, is different in terms of players they bring in, obviously money they spend. So it's tough for me to say right now to really pinpoint and say, oh, we need this, to kind of make that jump or anything like that. I think it's, I try and be myself. I've tried to be myself from the first day I set foot into this country, really, in college, and then I've been successful ever since then. So why would I try and change things, And I think that's what Khaled said, and Eric said, to just, be who I am. And that's why they brought me here, and I don't need to change anything. And that's what I'm trying to do. Like I said, I am coming in as a veteran player. I'm trying to, hit the ground running in a way where get integrated quickly on the field, but also be a guy very quickly that, guys can come to and speak with and ask questions like you just asked about what it takes to win, and all those things. So maybe in a few months I'll have a better answer for you, but hopefully we can kind of find that jump, to really push into the top four in the West and ultimately compete for trophies. And I think that's kind of what we want.